WrestleMania is less than a week away, and I'll be honest, I'm just not feeling it this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm still excited, I'll be watching, I'll be rooting for my favorites, I'll be locked in, but there's something missing, something I can't quite put my finger on. I've been thinking about it more and more, and maybe the truth is, I'm just getting older. I don't know how many subscribers I have, but it kind of reminds me of that feeling when holidays and birthdays just start to lose their magic. Like when you're a kid, you count down the days, but now, birthdays roll around and I'm like, cool, 1 year closer to dying, let's party, I guess. Maybe WrestleMania is going through that same thing. But that can't be true. I love wrestling. It doesn't matter how old I get, how depressing my life gets, I still love wrestling. So what could it be? Ah, I get it now.
Oh, and by the way, Wiener Bronco Buster?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Improv.
That was wonderful.
The build for WrestleMania has been terrible. A couple months ago, I was fantasy booking WrestleMania, thinking about all the insane possibilities, and I thought it could really be one of the best manias of all time. But now, it's looking more like a crown jewel. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. Instead of talking all this shit, let's just look at the builds for all these Mania matches. You know what? Let's make a tier list. Let's start with Night 1's main event, Roman Reigns vs CM Punk vs Seth Rollins. This has been pretty decent. I think this feud has had some memorable moments, and all three guys have cut good promos in the build-up. My only real complaint is all the Paul Heyman stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me, but you know what? I'll let it slide. Roman vs Punk vs Rollins is going in the Tanahashi crying tears of joy tier. Let's start off nice. Now we have Tiffany Stratton vs Charlotte Flair. This is a match I've personally been very excited for, as Tiffany is one of my favorite wrestlers, and despite everything people talk about Charlotte, sometimes deservedly so, I still think she is one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. Despite all that, my excitement has turned into concern. I once thought this could be a passing of the torch moment, but now I'm just scared Charlotte is going to pull an Austin Aries and no sell whatever happens. This feud has just not been that good, but I'm going to try to keep being nice. Let's put it in the El Grande Americano tier. Gunther vs Jey Uso. Man, this might be the hardest build to rank. Remember, we are just ranking the builds. Take whatever personal feelings you have about Jey Uso and put them aside. Nothing else matters. I gotta be honest, it feels like Gunther and Jey Uso have been doing the same BS every single week. Look, I know we had that one cool moment with Gunther beating Jimmy to death, but besides that, this feud has sucked. Don't even get me started on both of them having, their own little separate feuds with Alpha Academy and A-Town Down Under. I gotta put this in the Mox tier. Now we have the rest of the Night 1 matches, and I honestly don't even want to talk about them. What could I possibly say about New Day vs War Raiders? I mean, who gives a shit, to be honest? Mox tier. Jacob Fatu vs LA Knight. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for the match, and I'm excited for Fatu to win the US title. But as for the feud, what feud? Mox tier. Jade Cargill vs Naomi. You know what? This has actually been pretty good. Sure, it's been heavily carried by Naomi, and I'm sure the match will be heavily carried by Naomi as well, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. This match deserves to be in Dolph Ziggler vs Daniel Bryan Bragging Rights 2010 tier. Oh, and how could I forget Rey Mysterio vs El Grande Americano. Racism aside, this has been fine. I know a bunch of people were up in arms over some of the stuff in this feud, but I'm Mexican and I haven't been offended. I've just thought that it hasn't been very good at times, but at least they're trying. So Rey Mysterio vs El Grande Americano, fittingly, goes in the El Grande Americano tier. So there you have it. Night 1 of WrestleMania is done and the builds have mostly been garbage. Let's take a look at Night 2 and see if things can get any better, starting with AJ Styles and Logan Paul. This has been terrible. I don't even know what the feud is. Honestly, AJ Styles should be facing Karrion Kross at Mania, because they have had much more of a feud than AJ and Logan have. Mox tier. We're running out of room down there. Damian Priest vs Drew McIntyre. Guys, I don't know. If you told me you wanted to see this match a few months ago, I would have thought you were crazy because, like, really? Who cares? But like I said earlier, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and this build has been fine. I gotta put it in MJF shrugging. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. This is another tough one. I like all 4 of these guys, and I wouldn't care if any of them won, which is really cool, but does WWE really get the credit for that? I don't know, I'm leaning towards Dolph vs. D-Bry, but this is probably the match I could most easily be swayed by if you guys were to disagree. Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra. I don't know. Bayley and Lyra aren't even a team. What am I supposed to do with that? You know, just because I'm happy Bayley and Lyra are going to be on the WrestleMania card, and because there's no more room in the Mox tier, I'll put them in Grande Americano. Now we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, and man, I am pissed. This match easily could have main evented WrestleMania. It even could have main evented night 2 of WrestleMania. It is 3 of not only the best women's wrestlers in the world, but probably the 3 most popular as well. You know, Triple H likes to give these long speeches about giving the main events to whoever deserves it, but then he proceeds to book everyone he doesn't want to main event like shit. This match should feel important. This should feel like the biggest women's match of all time, but it doesn't, and there is no one to blame but WWE and Triple H. You know what? We're creating a new tier. Put them in the Triple K tier. Okay. We have one more match, and it is the main event, the most important match of all WrestleMania weekend. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. This feud is hard. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. You know, John Cena has not showed up every single week, but when he has, it's been really great. I think this really comes down to how nice do I want to be. I mean, I put Roman versus Punk versus Rollins at the top, so I feel like I kind of have to do that also with Cody versus Cena. But that should really tell you something. Even the 2 builds I have at the top have not been perfect. You know, don't let people tell you you're crazy. The build for this WrestleMania has not been good. But here's the thing. The show will probably be great, and people will be online saying stuff like, see, y'all were complaining for no reason. No. The show could be one of the best WrestleManias of all time, and it would not change the fact that the build has been horrible. Like I said at the beginning, I'm still excited, I'm still gonna watch, and hell, I'm probably gonna enjoy myself, but it does not change the fact that the build-up has not been good. You know, WWE usually enters a little lull period after Mania, but I hope this year is different. I hope they stop taking things for granted and really step on the gas, because the truth is, we deserve better than this.
No, this isn't happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Yes, it is.